Hello, my name is Sherry Norfolk and I am a storytelling teaching artist. Today we're going to explore two of the most fun tools in the Storyteller's Toolbox: character voices and sound effects. Boom! This video is part of the Kennedy Center Education's online collection, Teaching Artists Present, where teaching artists from all over the country lead arts activities that you can do at home. Character voices and sound effects help your listeners tell one character from another and help them hear what's happening in the story. Like this.
Someone's been eating my porridge.
Someone's been eating my porridge. Someone's been eating my porridge and they ate it all up. Did you know who was talking? I didn't tell you. I didn't say Papa Bear said or Mama Bear said, right? So how did you know? The character voices help you identify the speaker. Let's try some easy and fun tricks for making character voices. First, let's explore pitch. Everyone has voices that are
Deeper than the regular voice.
and we all have voices that are higher than our regular voice,
And we have voices in between.
so let's find some of yours. To find your deepest voice, let's try humming down like this. La 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 la. Together. La 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 la.
And say, who's been eating my porridge?
You try it. Good. That low, loud voice is great for great big characters like giants and hippos and daddy bears. Now let's find Baby Bear's voice. To do that, we're going to hum up. La 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 together. La 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 la. Who's been eating my porridge? Good. That tiny high voice is great for tiny characters like insects and birds and elves and mice. Now we need a mama bear voice. Her voice is a medium-sized voice. But your own medium voice is your regular speaking voice, and you need that when you narrate the story. So we need to make her voice different. Let's try making it softer. Who's been eating my porridge? Great. You can also show emotions. Make the voice sad. Who's been eating my porridge? Or excited. Who's been eating my porridge? Or grumpy.
Who's been eating my porridge?
The voice helps the listener identify the character and the way the character feels. It's also useful to think about the personality of the character. This bear would probably sound different from this bear or from this one. Pick a bear and say, who's been eating my porridge? Good job. There are lots of other ways to change your voice. If you know what an animal sounds like, try making that sound and then keep talking like this. Meow, I'm a cat. Good job.
Woof, woof, I'm a big dog.
Moo, I'm a cow.
Great, you've got it. Now, if you don't know what an animal sounds like, you can Google it and listen. But not all animals make sounds, like giraffes. So then you have to think about other characteristics of the animal. So a giraffe is really big, so he might have,
A great big voice.
and their heads are way up in the sky, so maybe they have a high voice. And they run really fast. Maybe they talk really fast. Or giraffes have long tongues. So maybe they say, hi, I'm a giraffe. Choose a voice and say, hi, I'm a giraffe. Good job. Now I'm going to tell you a secret. The trick to making sure you use the right voice for the right character is visualization. If you're visualizing a cow, you're not going to like a sheep, right? That's why I say that imagination is the most important part of a story. But voices aren't the only sounds in a story. Let's explore the other sounds in a story. I'm going to tell you two different versions of a part of a story, and you get to decide Which version is more interesting? Here we go. The belly button monster rose up at the foot of the bed. His finger began to grow longer and longer and longer and longer until it plucked Billy Brown's belly button right out of the middle of his belly, and the belly button monster ate it. That was version 1. Here's version 2. The belly button monster rose up at the foot of the bed. His finger began to grow longer, whoop, longer, whoop, longer, whoop, longer, whoop, and it plucked Billy Brown's belly button right out of the middle of his belly, and the belly button monster ate it. Which version was more interesting, 1 or 2? Most people say 2, but why? It was the same words and the same actions. It was the sounds that made it more fun. More fun for the listener and more fun for the storyteller. You can make sound effects. All you have to do is use your imagination. You have to imagine what sounds you would hear in your story and then try to make them with your voice or body. Now, it's not going to sound exactly like the original sounds, but the sounds you make will help your listeners hear what's happening in the story. Let's try it. I'm going to tell you a boring story. Your job is to make it interesting by making the sounds we should hear in the story. For instance, if I say, he heard a frog, you go, ribbit, ribbit. Okay, here we go. The boy was sleeping. The alarm clock went off. He sat up and stretched. He bounced on the bed. Boing, 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 boing. He fell out of bed. Ow! He got up and pulled on his heavy hiking boots. He stomped across the floor. Thump, thump, thump. He unlocked the door. He opened the squeaky door. He stepped out and slammed the door shut. Bang! He walked across the creaky wooden porch. He stopped. He heard thunder. Boom! And then it began to rain. It rained and it rained and it rained and it rained and then it stopped. The rain had made a huge mud puddle. He jumped in it. Splat! Then he heard a frog. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. He was afraid of frogs. Ah! The frog hopped away. Boing, 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 boing. The boy sighed in relief. And then his stomach began to growl. So he opened the squeaky door, stepped in, and shut it. And that was the end. Sound effects can be funny or scary. Or use onomatopoeia. Boogity, 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 boogity. But they all help the listener hear what's happening in the story. In this session, we've explored how to create and maintain distinct voices for each of the characters in your story and how to add interesting sound effects to that story. Now you're ready to use 2 of the tools in the Storyteller's Toolbox to bring your story to life in the imagination of your listeners. So here's your challenge. Try using character voices and sound effects when you tell your family about your day or tell your friends about your favorite movie or television show. Don't just say, he heard a weird sound. Make that sound. Give your characters words to say and their very own voices to say them in.
I'm the belly button monster.
Your stories will be funnier or scarier or more exciting when you use these tools from the Storyteller's Toolbox. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you will explore other videos in the Kennedy Center Teaching Artists Present collection. Thanks for watching.